Okay, good evening, everyone. Hope you can hear me properly. Hi. Yes, we can hear you. Okay. Okay. So before moving into our main session, I'll quickly give you a brief introduction. So warmly welcome you for our online session, the monthly session, the GreenCast Live, conducted by the Green Future Network of Hive. So I'm Peksha Virajini, the founder of Hive and the Green Future Network. So before moving into that, I'll give you a brief introduction about what Hive is. So we are a company. It's all about we focus on three components mainly, three green solutions. So first arm, Hive Green Solutions. And the second arm is the Hive Academy, which focuses on the green skill education and youth professionals. And this Green Future Network was formed under this second segment. And we have another segment called another pillar in EcoHive as EcoHive Story. So that's the media platform for storytelling and inspiring. So we are a newly formed company focusing on sustainability. So I'll quickly give you an introduction about the Green Future Network as well. So that's a membership-based platform that's totally for to build, connect, and launch especially through the green careers. So this is kind of we are building an ecosystem of green professionals, starting from the undergraduates, then fresh graduates, experienced professionals, then mentors and different industries through internships and career opportunities, as well as in the like with the time we will link the ecosystem with the school network as well as well students. So our vision is to create Sri Lanka's leading youth network for sustainability, for training, connecting, and celebrating green leaders. And for achieving the vision, so our mission is to empower early professionals with green skills, real world exposure, and mentorship, building a connected community that accelerates sustainability, careers, and impact. So through the Green Future Network, we conduct different types of programs and activities. So since it is a membership-based network, for some events are for all the members and some of them are only for focus groups. So we conduct as a whole for all members and interested professionals awareness sessions like this, peer networking sessions, school and community outreach, and monthly challenges, eco stories. Those are the key areas that we focus. And for active members and for focus group, we conduct green skill or green career readiness programs, job preparation workshops, and mentorships, and etc. So we started 2 months back, so we have a long journey to go. So I'll give you a brief summary of the events that we have conducted and the progress. So we celebrated the World Environment Day, and this is the launching event of the Green Future Network. The guest speaker was Professor Angika Halvadur, who is my mentor also. And the Greencast Live is the monthly session that is conducted by the industry professionals. So that was initiated last month. So the entire program or entire network was launched in June. So July we had the Greencast Live July session conducted by Sanidhi Silva Vijayaratna. And this month, August, we our session is about hospitality industry. Conduct will be conducted by Mr. Ashan Karunananda. And this is another program that we conducted through the Green Future Network, the Green Career Readiness Program, which has focused on that focus group. So the first cohort was launched last month, and the founding mentors, the five, or apart from me, four founding mentors are supporting us to go along this journey, and we are getting good feedback for the program. So every session is evaluated, and we are getting the good feedback. And for the network, the first step, as EcoHive Explorers, you can join university students, early career professionals, and anyone who is interested to start in sustainability, to learn about sustainability, as experienced professionals, maybe volunteers, or uh, especially volunteers who would like to give back to the society by giving mentorship and uh, especially by mentorship, you can always join us. And corporate partners also be partner with Green Future Network, offering internships, jobs, and again mentorship. And okay, so we will share the membership and how to register and everything through the program, and you can always contact us. So moving into the GreenCast Live today's session. So we know our entire discussion was started with this one. If you were in the introductory session, you may remember. So the green economy is not just an environmental ambition, it's a kind of a $1 trillion shift shaping the industries worldwide. And hospitality is at the right at the heart of it. So why? Because tourism and travel connect directly to many of the sustainable development goals, from climate action and clean energy to responsible consumption to decent work, everything. So this is the like you can see this chart shows every part of the traveler's journey has an environmental footprint. So globally, tourism accounts for like 8% of the greenhouse gas emissions from transport to food to accommodation. So this means every part also holds an opportunity for positive change. And at the same time, even travelers are asking for it. Like as per booking.com says, report says the 84% say sustainability matters in their travel choices. So this is a clear signal for the hospitality sector. Going green isn't just good for the planet, it's a business advantage. So with that, to explore how hotels can lead this transformation and to share real world learnings and career opportunities in the sustainable hospitality, we have with us Mr. Ashan Karunananda. He's a general manager, sustainability and business development at Thema Collection, one of the Sri Lanka's leading thematic and eco-friendly hospitality brands. So, with and a MSc in forestry and environmental management, and strong international exposure, Ashan leads initiatives that integrate sustainable tourism, community empowerment, and environmental stewardship. And his work focuses on aligning business growth with responsible practices while inspiring next generation to champion sustainability. So Ashan will take us behind the scenes of how sustainability is reshaping the industry, creating values for business, communities, and the next generation of professional. So without further ado, please join me in giving warm welcome to Ashan Karunananda.
Yeah. So hi, Upeksha. So thank you and hi everyone. So let me share my slides. I think the slides are visible for everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think Upeksha gave a good introduction for this session. So as you all know, the tourism industry as a whole in Sri Lanka is growing. So just I want to highlight, so during the session what I would be trying to focus in how as I learned that there are many university students and who are willing to join in careers in tourism industry, how I started my career and the work now we do, and the future careers that are being created because of this travelers becoming more sustainable, and who are interested to visit especially Sri Lanka is becoming a popular destination. So a career in sustainability, yes. So when I started my career, was I interested in coming into the field? Yes, I would say yes or no. Because like from my young age, I loved the nature, so I wanted to do something nature. But now today, I have, however, ended up my career in a more or less a sustainability focus in sustainability. So this is, as I said, so I have an MSc in forestry and environment management, and I started with my BSc in biotechnology. So biotechnology is a vast field. So, but my final year research mainly focused on diversity of the butterflies in the urban area. So that I linked towards in getting more experience in this field, and now I have ended up in as a general manager sustainability at in a tourism sector, so hospitality sector. Yeah, so the challenges, first of all, the word sustainability is something new, especially in countries like Sri Lanka. If you take 5 years ago, it was very challenging. Like if you take the hospital sector, there are four main departments. You could say it's the housekeeping department, the front office, then you got the F&B and the kitchen. So those are the main four operational departments in a hotel. Then sustainability comes as a value addition. So when you like to do new projects to actually convince the managers, it's a challenge. So I started my career as a naturalist at Aria Resort and Spa, which is located in Sigiriya. That is one of the properties now in Thema Collection. So then I was at a property. But then when we convince, it's very hard to pitch a project. So but gradually when now the concepts have changed, now there are more interests. So now it's more easier. So those are some of the challenges, but I'll share in future as well. So as Upeksha said in her introduction, the travel industry in Sri Lanka, in the world, is also increasing. So, yes, we had many challenges. The COVID impact, the economic crisis, the East attack was a challenge for our country to gain a success in this sector over the past 5 years. If you say 2020, we had about only 500 tourists. It reduced, dipped to 2021 to less than 500,000, especially due to the COVID. And 2022, then the economic crisis, it again dipped. It was not high as in 2019, where we had 1.9, close to 2.2 million travelers. But now again, 2024, we have touched that amount, and 2025, we are planning to have the tourists close to 3 million. I think it will end up around 2.7 to 2.8, but our target is 3 million. Yes, that's a very good sign as a country, as an island nation, that tourists are coming to visit our wonderful country. But being an island, we will face challenges if the next time the target is 4 million next year. So our resources will be overutilized, and we are an island, so we have no place to go. So we should start protecting it now. Otherwise, there will be a huge challenge to our environment, there will be a social impact and species. So that's why there is a high demand in another 1 to 2 in the next 6 to 7 months. There'll be very high demand in careers in especially in the tourism industry, because there's a big growth and there's impact to other industries due to the tariffs done by the US government. So here there'll be many careers open. So as you see, why tourists travel to Sri Lanka? These are some few photographs. The first one, you have these iconic balloon rides, and then you have scenic treks. This is a trek to High Knuckles, and you have got many waterfalls. And if you can, the other picture taken at Pidurangala, so keeping Sigiri as a backdrop, so it's another wonderful thing. And we got vegetables and the experiences, different experiences, and also the tea. Many tourists visit to experience the tea, the Sri Lankan tea, which was very popular before. So there are many things that Sri Lanka as a country can be sold to other countries. So then the amazing nature that we could see in the country, we can see over 500 plus bird species, which include 248 resident species. others are migratory species which come to visit during the winter season in other countries. Out of that, 34 are endemic. Like that means like these 34 species can be found only in Sri Lanka. If you see the butterfly diversity, Sri Lanka has 248 butterfly species. Out of that, 31 are endemic. So there's a special clientele coming for bird watching, butterfly watching, and things like that. So there's a demand over there. And then, as I said, the tea, Sri Lankan tea, is a very popular thing worldwide. So the guests come to experience the tea plucking, the leaf to cup experience. Here, then, working with the community is another highlight when promoting tourism. So, as well as Upeksh, which she mentioned in a presentation as well. So, it's something very important working with the community because every time when an income we generate, it should go down to the below people as well in the local areas. So that's when it developed. This is some of the projects that we have done where we work with the indigenous communities in Ratugala. So we have a property over there. I'll just explain in the final slide that where we work with these communities to uplift their quality of life and the income generation methods. And then the agricultural practices. So we can actually promote our country with the food based industry as well. So there are many avenues that we could promote, and also then the local community engagement. Again, this is another such example where we have the very curd making process in the country, but the tourist doesn't experience it. So by creating experiences around them, whether it's a curd making or with having cookery demonstration, so those are the areas that we could work on and highlight it. So when it comes to Thema Collection, so we have 14 different properties where every property there's a specific theme. So if you take Alia Resort and Spa, which is in Sigiriya, where we build around Alia, which means the elephant, Sri Lankan elephant, where we try to promote the human-elephant conflict. Malu Malu in Pasikuda, where we have it's a small fishing village that we are trying to promote. And there are properties such as Ambayalu Kandalama, where it is a recent property where we have integrated the project where it is 100% women-led property. So even if you get Varakauda Valave, we wanted to promote the jackfruit of Sri Lanka. So there are many projects that we are working in line to address this demand. So when it comes to career pathways, so this is something very important. I think many of the youth which are focused, how you can come to a career in hospitality. So and how you can come to a career in sustainability. So sustainability means there should be a passion. So one thing which I say is you should have the passion to join any career in your life. You should have the passion. So especially sustainability, like if you don't get it from your bottom of your heart that you want to do something to your country or to your workplace, that's something very important that I think we should be looking for. Because what I see is it's an individual responsibility. Like even we say someone else to do it, no. But as individuals, if we are to stay in Sri Lanka, we should actually practice this. So one thing which I feel, if you are interested in nature and learning more species, there's a role as a naturalist. So at Thema Collection, we have 16 naturalists. So the role of a naturalist is you have to engage with the guests and take them in nature walks, or whether you can take them in safaris and you can explain it to them like what is ethical safaris, like how we should keep a distance from species, and also what are the species found in Sri Lanka, what are the endemic species. So it's a more of a storytelling. So that career pathway is actually opening. So if you take our hotel chain in about 3 years ago, 2 years ago, we had only three naturalists, but now it has grown up to 16. So there is a very high demand for this job opportunity. So one career opportunity, yes, I would say this. And then especially after the COVID impact. So if you take Sri Lanka before in 2019, when we tried to put on initiatives which are more sustainable, the guests would actually oppose it. Because, for example, if you want to have refillable water bottles in our property, they would say there are hygiene issues. But now, after COVID, as the booking.com numbers suggest, 84% are interested in sustainability. So they are also asking, they are also checking what are the sustainable practices, what are the projects that we are doing. So now there are other openings. One is the greenhouse gas emissions. So there again, we need actually a knowledge pool, like staff which are recruited within the organization itself to actually quantify the gas greenhouse gas emissions. So one thing is like, for example, from electricity, how much is generated, the fuel used. So for careers like that, definitely there's a demand. I think even at EcoHive there are trainings and things like that to develop the youth for that future. So if you take example now, Thema Collection, we have actually trained a intern from Sabaragam University for this calculation process, which we feel earlier what we did was we gave to a third party. So, but now we are internally getting in staff for careers in this as well. And also what I feel is, yes, sustainability, we should be focusing mainly in the calculations, the analytics, and also, but what other things which I said, actually content creation. If you are willing to actually showcase the work, a big gap which I have seen is there are many success stories, successful projects conducted in Sri Lanka where it has not been communicated. For example, what I see is like if you take a project, for example, paper recycling center. We have a paper recycling center at Alia. So we have to communicate with other hotels as well to establish the model in their properties as well, because that is something that we should do. Always we should share knowledge. So for that, what I see is people with the understanding of the sustainable aspect as well as the utilization of social media. So there are many avenues. So, but definitely there are challenges. So every job, if you take every job to build your career, it's not easy. So anyone who come and who would talk to you would say that it's very hard. Like to begin a career is something that the first internship will be a challenge. Then after the internship, getting a first job is a challenge. So, but always you should have a goal. For example, if you want to become, if you want to come into this hospitality industry, you should see whether first you like it. So that's how I see. So first you should like it, then only you can give your 100% to your job and then grow your career. So one of my suggestion is like always try to do what you like, not what the others want you to do, but always what you would like. So since I won't be talking more, it's about 15 minutes, which I 15-20 minutes. So just that's what I wanted to mainly say. So at the end, what I would say is like always if you are starting your career, definitely there are challenges, and also it's best to always discuss with your parents, your mentors, and always be open. Like what are the areas that you want to work, what are your skill sets, especially try to find what are your strengths and weaknesses. So every person has their own strengths and all weaknesses. So what I see is every individual has their own strength. So after that, if you are coming to hospital industry, I have said that there are many openings, there's just few openings. So but there's a way more opportunities, and in future it will be more. So that's what I want to say. And thank you very much for listening, and hope you would have any questions, we can take it in the Q&A session. Over to you, Peksha.
Okay, thank you, Ashan, for sharing your journey as well as your learnings and the career opportunities in the sector. So now the uh, participants can ask questions more, like specific questions if you have, and Ashan will definitely answer those. And with that, from my perspective, if I summarize as per my understanding, what Ashan mentioned as the career opportunities, you mentioned about the naturalist. So naturalist will be an opportunity, and especially analyst like carbon footprint calculations and the technical aspect. So technical knowledge will be essential as a green skill to start a career in sustainability. in hospitality sector. And again, content creation. So that's another part that you highlighted. And as another like kind of a skill, you mentioned about the storytelling, right? So if you could elaborate on the bit more about the storytelling and how it will impact on maybe climate action perspective as well as business perspective.
Yeah, so the storytelling in the sense what I meant was like, for example, like if you have done a very good successful project, like because like what I see is the foreigners who come to Sri Lanka, like not even Sri Lanka, who travel, other than rather than saying this was done, that was done, actually if you can pitch it as a story. So as when I was working with them at Alia, if you can nicely pitch it like from this much of job opportunities that were created, and this is the amount of waste that we have generated, so that should be done in a very creative manner, which is made as a very impactful way. So like gradually one I would say is one that we implemented here is actually the paper recycle center is at one of our properties. So earlier, what we did was we had it as a small unit, but now all the baggage tags and drip mats of our entire property is done from this paper recycle center. So from the guests who from the check-in itself, they get this story. So actually, that's been promoted. But some of the other things which I see is, for example, some of the good sustainable projects that are happening in Sri Lanka. One good such example is the Tatur 7 in Udawalawe. They are doing a really great job where they bring in orphan calves to their home, to this place, and they actually look after them for 5 years and send them back to the wild. So that is done by the government. We should actually appreciate the work the wildlife department does over there. But if these stories are more generated, then there are many people who are able to support this. And also one other such thing is like in our education system also, Upeksha, what I see is now carbon, the greenhouse gas emissions, the importance, like yes, we learn about the climate change and things like that, but the quantification kind of things should be coming, because if you take the world, like we say there's climate change and things like that, but how many in the hotels in the world who had done their own greenhouse gas emission quantification part of it? So those are the some of the success stories that is needed, and especially the trainings in that line.
Yeah. Especially regarding storytelling, it's kind of a part in our life as well from childhood. Also, we like stories, and if our parents or adults want to give some like kind of an advice, they put it up into a story and tell. So to get to perspective of the sustainability and climate action, then storytelling will be a really essential tool, and everyone should have that skill. I think maybe not only the hospitality industry, any career, if you want to make an impactful action on something, storytelling is a very essential or very good tool. Okay, another question. Till I don't think the participants, if you have any questions, you can ask. But I have few questions. So, as as a start, like a beginner in your career in hospitality sector career, what are the improvement areas you see? Maybe from your juniors or your like the employees under you maybe. So what are the improvement areas and what are the like skills that you see that those were not with earlier generation like us?
Yeah,
Improvement areas and highlight.
yes, yeah, skills. So what I see, one of the main skills is now the new generation is more with technology. So even the use of AI and things like that, where they are way ahead. But if you take Sri Lanka in AI as a whole, is very behind in other countries. So but now the new generation, they are using AI and using new techniques. But always the drawbacks is we should keep all there's are positives and negatives. So if for example, if you now, yes, those days to write a description we should go and type and take some time, but with now ChatGPT and other apps it's very easy. But actually sometimes if we don't have the concept in our head, whether the right message is being taken is a big challenge. But now the youth, they are more aware and they know how to use it. So that's one thing that I see as an improvement. But what other things to improve? One just one the focus. So there, like in a career, you should. What I see is you go through a lot in a career to develop a career. It's not easy. So I think even if Peksha could add like
Yeah.
how the challenges. So
Yeah.
like it's not perfect. Like any life of a person is not perfect, but there are many challenges. But always you should have a plan. Whether you have a plan A, plan B, or plan C. If the plan A doesn't work, always try to work with the plan B or plan C. And also you should be very what do you call very calm. Like there are many challenges, but you should take very strategic decisions. Whether if you want to leave organization, what now I see is they just stay home without inform. Just what I see. But like you should take some time and see. You always try to find another job and then leave. So those are some things which I see with the new generation. They are a bit, but there are many positives. But
Yeah.
those are the few things which I see.
Okay. Moving bit away from the careers, I want to have a kind of more detail about the compliance aspect, especially sustainability compliance aspect in the hospitality sector. Especially that will be important for our participants, since they are learning about the technical aspects of the sustainability. So, what are the focus areas in the as per compliance in sustainability?
Yeah, so one thing which I always try to focus is like the now developing of the standards is one important thing that even at Thema Collection, what we are looking at. For example, the minor ones. For example, even the chemicals which we use. So doing the analytics on how what are the actually best chemical. Like for example, if you take now the criteria, yes, now the criteria is improving, and there are many loopholes that we can look into. For example, now we always try to follow the GSTC guidelines, and also according to the guidelines, how we can practically implement this. So there are two things. So one, there is the guideline, and how we can practically implement it to the ground level. For example, if now for example if you take the chemicals, so Sri Lanka there are many products that we can use for housekeeping, laundry, but how we can take to the ground level, our housekeepers would think that these are the best chemicals for them, but as a scientific background we might have different idea. So how we can do that, especially as I said, the even the one thing is that like what we are trying to do now. Other thing is like the greenhouse gas quantification and the things like that is also something very vital, because one thing what we see is yes, it's a smaller step. So, but if you see, I have had many discussions. How many organizations have done the all the calculations in the accurate way is a big challenge, especially us. This whether we take scope one, scope two, or even have we taken the supply chain. So yes, there are challenges, but now if you take Thema Collection as a whole, initially we had divided our plan to phase one, phase two, phase three. Phase one, as I said, when you have the tourism industry, there are many challenges. So especially everything there should be budgets. So now only we have the budgets, and now gradually now we are in the phase two part of it. How we can improve our compliance, how we can go for certification. So especially travel life control units. So those are the areas that we are working currently.
Okay, so you mentioned about the GSTC as well. So
Yes.
GSTC, GHG, then
Mm.
travel life,
Yeah.
those are the areas, and as well as green building aspect. So if you
Yes.
construct
Yes. Yes.
new hotels, then green building certifications also come into play.
Yeah.
So likewise, so we can, I think our participants also, it's very clear that what are the skills that are essential to develop in you to start a career like her career in sustainability, especially in the hospitality sector. So the last, maybe the last question. So from your experience, do you see a difference in the guest right now? As per report says, like they are interested, but do you practically experience in that?
Yes, definitely. Definitely, there's a big change. And as I said in the discussion itself, 2019, when I started my career, so some of the proposals that I made was change the plastic water bottle to refillable glass water bottles. And then refillable Ayurvedic toiletries. Earlier, we used to have six plastic tubes with the shower gel, the shampoo, and the body wash. But when we put these proposals, even the guests, one thing they bring out is the hygiene issue. They need a sealed water bottle, and they need new ones. But now, definitely, at all of our properties, we have refillable water bottles and refillable Ayurvedic toiletries. So now actually there are good comments. So actually now even the Ayurvedic toiletries are done by local doctor, and we have now a separate shop that we have created where they purchase it.
Mm.
Definitely the travelers are now more educated, but yes, there should be improvements, but they are more educated, they are engaging in tree planting activities. And also what's interesting, they are asking the location, they need photos, they need updates. And even if you see the TripAdvisor comments and Booking.com comments, a traveler who visits, for example, these locations, actually they've put a special comment that they have seen this, they have seen plastic cleanups done in these areas. So there is some interest. So definitely that in now in another 5 years time, definitely this will be more.
Yeah.
What I see is sustainably you cannot implement very quickly, but the mindset should change. So especially I have seen youth movements also in Sri Lanka working on it. So when you work with university students from the university itself, their mindset also changes. So especially if you take plastic pollution, personally, first we should stop using polythene bags and things like that without changing others. So those are the changes that gradually it would come, I think. But now, yes, definitely from before to now, there is a big difference from the travelers.
Yeah, you very correctly mentioned, and that's the kind of a main idea behind our program Eco Hive and the Green Future Network and everything. So we need to change the mindset from the young generation, those who are like stepping into the careers. So if the mindset changes, then automatically I think everything will be in good way. Okay, so that's all from like my questions. So if the participants have any more questions, you can ask. Otherwise, we can wind up the session.
I have
Yeah.
one more clarification. I just want to know what are the entry level packages offered to those sustainability interns or that kind of entry level positions, and what are the main qualification you are looking for, or just you are recruiting people like people from after A level
Yeah, yeah,
qualification.
yeah, yeah. So, Karan, thank you very much for the question. So, one thing, as I said, there are many career opportunities. So, if you take a naturalist, what I mainly see for naturalist is the first for naturalist, what I see is the passion. So, he should love the nature, he should be with the animals. So, all the naturalists that I recruited, they are interested in snakes. So, they always try to keep snakes, protect them, and release. So, first thing, even when I joined the organization, earlier, they used to put MSc in this, BSc in this for environment related. But for naturalists, first you should have passion to protect animals. So that's what I do for that. And I have recruited, and now I have a team of 16, which are really good. Yes, we are starting with interns. So just after A levels, if you have been in environment societies and things like that, if you had any workshops, definitely you can be a candidate for that. So, but when it comes to the technical side of it, the greenhouse gas emissions and things like that, to start as an intern is a bit of, we should look the work experience, what are the degrees, whether you have done an degree towards the environment and then specialized degrees, then we can recruit. Like for intern, of course, just the degree we can work on. But when you go for higher ranks, executive, senior executive, assistant manager level, first the experience, the degrees, what are the courses that you have done, it is what is very important. And what are the successful things, what have you started and how have you finished. So those are the things that we're looking. Packages for intern, roughly what we do is there's a package of about 35 to 40,000. Then gradually it increases from properties. Of course, you are taken as an executive level itself, so then you get the accommodation and things like that. There are many facilities, but the all the things are on your hands. So how you can develop a career, it's all up to you. And
Passion is important.
the passion is the most important thing. Otherwise, it's very hard. And also one thing, the passion, the interest, and also the luck. Also, there's a small part, at 10%, I would say, there's a luck. And those are three things which I say usually.
Yeah. Exactly. So, any more questions? Okay. If you don't have any more questions, we can wind up. Before that, you can always follow Ashan Karunananda on LinkedIn and his social media network. And also, please follow us, the Green Future Network and Eco Hive as well. So we share this kind of knowledge sessions monthly, as well as there will be public sessions like physically like community integration, community events also in the future. So stay in touch. And so thank you very much, Ashan, for your valuable time and for sharing your thoughts about the sustainability and your learnings and uh, guidance for giving guidance for the like beginners in sustainability. So thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Upeksha. Thank you.
And thank you very much for the participants for staying with us for the entire time. So please, we will share if you can. I think we have to put a note. Okay, and you can give us the name for the chat box and name for the certification. Thank you very much.